Okay, so today we are going to talk about epulis. Now, epulis itself means upon the gum. Okay, so what is epulis? So, epulis is something which is either tumor or tumor like structure which is situated upon the gum or upon the gingiva. Okay, so that's a basic definition, and it arises generally from the alveolar margin of the jaw, but it can arise from other structures also. Okay, basically let's look at the tooth structure. So here it is a tooth, here it's a gingival membrane. Okay, so we have something called periodontal membrane. Here we have something called periodontal membrane, and it also have periodontal ligaments which anchors the tooth into the socket. Otherwise you can pull tooth just like this, मतलब ऐसे करके आप दांत को बाहर निकाल दोगे, बट नो वी कैनॉट डू बिकॉज ऑफ दिस पेरियोडोंटल लिगामेंट एंड पेरियोडोंटल मेम्ब्रेन. Okay, so it is a basically feviquick, natural feviquick, okay, which anchors the tooth into the socket. All right, and tooth is embedded into bony socket. So we have bone. Okay, in the upper jaw we have maxilla, and in the lower jaw we have mandible. So tooth is embedded into that bony socket, and these bones have periosteum. Okay, so this socket also have periosteum because it is a basically bone. So epulis can either arise from the this periodontal membrane, or it can arise from the this periosteum of the bone. Okay, or it can even arise from this gingiva. Okay, so from these three things the epulis can arise. All right, now we have different type of epulis. Generally there are four types, popularly I would say. We are going to look at each one separately into the little bit detail. Okay, and we are going to understand it. We are not going to just mug up the symptoms. Okay, so first we are looking at the fibrous epulis, which is most common type of epulis. All right, and it is a generally a benign tumor. Okay, now the name itself says it is a fibroma. Okay, fibrous tumor, so it is fibroma, and it is composed of the fibrous fusiform cells. All right, but here is the difficulty: it also have many new blood vessels, which is called neovascularization. In the pathology there is a term called neovascularization, which is maintained under a vascular endothelial growth factor. Okay, so this new blood vessels helps this benign tumor or malignant tumor to grow in size, because it requires a nutrition, and this new blood vessels provides a nutrition. So it's not like any other benign tumor. It is a benign tumor, but it's more dangerous. Why? Because it has a new blood vessels, it has a neovascularization. Okay, now let me tell you something very interesting here. We are talking about the tumors. Okay, we are talking about tumors here, and the tumors doesn't directly cause any pain. It's not an ongoing inflammation. Remember, it's not an ongoing inflammation. Okay, ऑनगोइंग जो इन्फ्लामेशन होता है, एक्यूट इन्फ्लामेशन होता है, उसका पेन भी उतना एक्यूट होता है. राइट, if we look at some examples like acute pancreatitis, like acute cholecystitis, or even a small boil upon the skin, तो ये जो एक्टिव ऑनगोइंग इन्फ्लामेशन है उसका जो पेन होता है वो एकदम शार्प होता है. इट्स अ शार्प पेन, इट्स अ शार्प एक्यूट पेन. But if we look at the tumors, then tumors doesn't have acute sharp pain because it's not ongoing inflammation. Understand this. Tumors can produce pain. Remember, tumors, especially malignancy, can cause immense pain. Immense pain. Malignancy has unbearable pain because it just invades the structures. It just crosses all the boundaries. So that's why malignancies can have immense pain. But generally, benign tumor doesn't have active pain or tenderness because tumors produces symptoms due to pressure. So tumors produces symptoms due to pressure that causes that it causes on the other structures, and pressure that it causes on the nerves. So due to that there is a pain. So there is a pain but due to pressure, and the symptoms of the tumor are also due to pressure. Remember, symptoms of the tumor are due to pressure and not due to inflammation. Okay, so we are talking about tumors here. So there is generally not going to be any pain, any acute pain like inflammation. There can be a pain or tenderness, but that would be a dull type of pain generally. Okay, if it's a malignancy, then it can produce massive pain, but benign tumor generally causes dull pain. So let's look at sign and symptoms. It's a non-tender thing, as I have said. It's not ongoing inflammation, so it doesn't cause any acute pain. It's a non-tender. Here I have not mentioned about the pain, I guess, but it is generally not that much painful, and the pain is dull in nature. And as I have said, symptoms are due to pressure. So what are the symptoms? So symptoms can be, there can be loosening of the adjacent tooth. Okay, why? Due to that pressure. ओके, सो दांत के बीच में से अगर ट्यूमर ग्रो होगी तो वो आसपास के दांत को प्रेशराइज करेगी, एंड दैट कैन कॉज सम साइटली loosening of the tooth, or it can make tooth separate. Okay, and it is a slow growing tumor, although it has a neovascularization. Okay, and it is a firm tumor. Why? Remember, it is a firm tumor because it is composed of the fibrous cell. It is a fibrous epulis, so that's why it is a firm in nature. All right, and it may undergo malignant change, which is called fibrosarcoma. Okay, and it may reoccur after excision. So the treatment is excision. You just excise the tumor. Now we have second type, which is granulomatous epulis. So it is called false epulis because it doesn't arise from any inside structure. It doesn't arise from periodontal membrane, or it doesn't arise from the periosteum. It arises from the gingiva itself, and it is not due to other reasons. We have clear etiology here. We have clear etiology. See, we have in etiology we have three things. First is ill-fitting denture, then second thing is infection, and the third thing is pregnancy. In the pregnancy due to hormonal imbalance. So we have clear etiology here. It's due to these three etiologies. So it's a false epulis, that's why. Alright. It is basically made up of granular mass. Alright. And we also have something called gingivitis gravidarum. Gravida refers to the pregnancy. Okay, that's why it is called gingivitis gravidarum, or even called pregnancy epulis, which is due to hormonal imbalance during the pregnancy. Okay, and ill-fitting denture, see, that's why you need to go to a good dentist. Okay, because some dentist can uh, fit the denture improper, and that improper fitted denture can cause chronic irritation. वो डेंचर जो होगा वो क्रोनिक इरिटेशन एंड क्रोनिक फ्रिक्शन करेगा, एंड दैट क्रोनिक फ्रिक्शन chronic friction can cause this irritation, and that irritation can cause this granulomatous epulis. Okay, any infection or tooth decay can also cause this granulomatous epulis due to that irritation of the gingiva. Okay, and in the pregnancy due to hormonal imbalance there can be pregnancy epulis. Okay, now let's look at clinical features. So first thing, it is a granular mass. Understand this, it is a granular mass. So here there is going to be redness because it is a granular mass, so there is, it's going to be bright red, and it is granular mass, so it is soft and firm in feel. Okay, so it's a soft from outside but firm from inside due to that gingiva, strong gingiva that lies inside. And generally it is a non-cancerous, so lymph node may be enlarged, but it may be and it may not be enlarged. Okay, and granular tissue bleeds easily on touch, so it bleeds easily on touch. It's as easy as that, right? You don't have to mug up the symptoms. And in the etiology, we have seen that the infection or tooth decay can cause this granulomatous epulis. So there can be some offensive smell or offensive discharge due to infection. Okay, so there can be association of the infection. So symptoms are really easy now. The treatment. So if you know the etiology, then you know the treatment, right? Ill-fitting denture is corrected, oral hygiene is maintained, especially in the pregnancy. So now whenever you open the obstetric books, read antenatal care, and in the antenatal care, the special emphasis should be given to the oral hygiene. ऑप्स में एंटीनेटल केयर के सेक्शन में क्लियर लिखा होगा ओरल हाइजीन के बारे में. वाई? बिकॉज ऑफ दिस रीजन. सो ओरल हाइजीन शुड टेकन केयर ऑफ. इवन tooth curry, dental caries, or tooth decay can also cause this epulis. So for that also you need to maintain oral hygiene. Okay, and sometimes the tooth extraction can be done if the tooth is so much decayed. Okay, and that granulation mass is diathermized. So for the mass, the treatment is diathermy. Okay. Now we have third type, which is called myeloid epulis, and it is a bony tumor. Remember, it is a bony tumor. It is osteosarcoma, and it arises from the underlying bone. It can be mandible in case of lower jaw, or it can be maxilla in case of upper jaw. Okay, so basically it is a bony tumor, but it comes on the gingival surface. So bone के अंदर से arise होगी, but ऊपर आएगी gingiva के surface पे. So deep filling, on the deep filling, it is a firm because it's a bony mass. Alright, but on the outer side it is a soft. So it is on touch, it is a soft and plum colored, but on the deep fill it's a firm. Okay, and it is more rapidly growing, and it is always sessile. Now sessile means which doesn't what we can say, which doesn't move from the place. So वो जहाँ पे है वहाँ पे ही रहेगा. You cannot move it. That is called sessile. Okay, so it's a sessile. You cannot just simply move it. The opposite of the sessile is pedunculated, which can be moved from the deep structure. All right. So the symptoms can be separation of the tooth due to that pressure, and bony cells give soap bubble appearance in the X-ray. So this is bony tumor. So there is going to be soap bubble experience. All right. Now complication can be there. It can cause ulceration and serious hemorrhage because it's a bony tumor. So it is more dangerous. An X-ray is performed to diagnose it. Now the treatment. So the treatment is a radical excision of the bone because it can grow very fast, as we have seen in the clinical symptoms. So excision of the bone should be done, and bone graft is performed in case of mandible, and the bone graft is taken from the ribs. Okay, and if it is a small swelling, then curettage and filling can be done. All right, in the small swelling, curettage and filling is done. Now we have fourth type, which is called carcinomatous epulis. So the name itself says it is more of a carcinomatous structure. It is more of a malignant. See, epulis can be benign or can be malignant, but carcinomatous epulis is more of a malignant type than benign type. Okay, and it is epithelial tumor, so that's why it is called epithelioma. Okay, that's why it is called epithelioma of the gum, and it arises from the mucous membrane of the alveolar margin. All right, and it is an infiltrating lesion, just like malignancy. It is an infiltrating lesion, and it can become infected and painful, just like any other malignancy. So it's more of a malignancy, right? That's why in the symptoms also we see lymph node involvement, okay, and even the bony involvement, even the pain, all right, and even the ulcer. So there is all the sign and symptoms of the malignancy. Ulceration, first is ulceration, then there is a lymph nodal environment, then there is a painful lesion, third symptom, and involvement of the bone, invasion of the bone, right? Investigation is done to rule out the malignancy by doing biopsy, and the treatment is also a treatment of the malignancy. In the case of malignancy, we can perform radiotherapy, we can do resection including the surrounding healthy structures, all right, or we can do radical excision, okay, we can do radical excision, which involves excision of the so much more structure, all right, total excision of the structure can also be done. So it is a most dangerous among all type of epulis, okay. So finally here we finish this topic. I thank you so much for watching this video. And yes, if you do like this video, then make sure to give me a thumbs up, and you can also share your views down in the comment section. And you can subscribe to my channel and help me to build a good medical community. So yeah, that's it.